Hi friends, it's Jess with Our Bipolar. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, just a little bit about me. I have bipolar 1 and I was diagnosed 26 years ago when I was a sophomore in college. Today I want to talk a little bit about grieving the life you had before being diagnosed with bipolar. I think a lot of us can relate to that. It's going to be different for everyone. Before we do that, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much if you have already subscribed. And also please like this video, comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Some people who have bipolar kind of feel like they always had bipolar symptoms, even as a child. They always did. So there wasn't this big shift to after they were diagnosed. But I know for me, that was not the case. I may have had some hints of things when I was a kid, but there was a huge shift when I had my first manic episode, full-blown manic episode, psychosis, the whole thing. And I was diagnosed really quickly, but I went through almost a decade of terrible symptoms all the time, rapid cycling, mania or depression every single month. So it took me a really long time to find meds that worked for me. And of course, as you know, if you have bipolar, even if you find what you think are like the right meds, they are not perfect. You're going to have symptoms still. You're going to have mania at times. You're going to have depression. So some of us, I know I do, think back on our life before starting to have bipolar symptoms and being diagnosed, and maybe even kind of idolize or make a lot more of how we were before. Like, I know for me, I always think back on my high school years and I just think of them like they were so wonderful. My life was so perfect. I wasn't having any bipolar symptoms then, so it was just so great. And I totally idolized those years, even though they weren't that great. I mean, yes, anything without bipolar symptoms seems really good, but really, there wasn't anything that special going on. I mean, I was in a horrible relationship. My first relationship was with a horrible person who cheated on me multiple times. I had issues with friends during high school. I played softball. I really never made varsity. They just kind of like let me on the team, but I never played. And they were just keeping me around because they liked me. I mean, that's basically what the coach told me. So yeah, none of this sounds that good, right? But it's like anything is better than having bipolar, and that was the time directly before, because I was diagnosed at 19. So then what do you do once you've been diagnosed? You're on bipolar meds, maybe things are going well, maybe they're not, and you have this grief of your former life. And I don't know about you, but I feel like I've lived two lives. Like, that life before being diagnosed was like basically a completely different person to who I am now. I think it's really normal to feel grief and to, in a lot of ways, mourn the person you were before being diagnosed with bipolar or before you had symptoms. I think it's normal and necessary to, in a way, mourn the loss of that person. And I'm still at times mourning that person. I mean, it's been so many years now since I was diagnosed, 26 years. And I don't think about that past life as often as I used to. But I do sometimes. And I do sometimes feel a little sad about it. And I do think, like, man, why couldn't I have just gone on like that? And I feel a little jealous, maybe a lot jealous, of other people who don't have bipolar or another serious mental illness. And I'm like, man, they've been the same person the whole time, their whole life. They just went on and were able to remain that person and not have these serious mental issues and have to take meds and have to change your lifestyle and have to you know, possibly like not drink and not do all these things. It's just, it is sad. And we should acknowledge that. But at some point, you know, you have to try to enjoy the life you're living. Maybe you're a different person now. And I think that's okay too. I think you have to make the most of the life you have. That life is with bipolar, and you have to make room for that, and you have to learn to live with it as best you can. Whatever that looks like. Maybe you're on meds. Maybe you can't take meds. You're treatment resistant. Maybe you can work. Maybe you can't work. Maybe you're on disability. If you're not working, I really hope you're on disability. I know how hard it is to get disability. But we have to make the most of what we have now. And I think when you do that, it is easier to look back at those previous years before the diagnosis and to not grieve as much as you used to, at least. All right, well, let me know your thoughts. This is a tough topic. It is hard, and it will continue to be hard at times. So thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.